A common scenario when building web applications is to display a list of items. For example, a list of products in an e-commerce app, or courses in a learning platform, or comments on a blog post. Let me show you how we can do this in React. Back in VS Code, let's create a new file called productlist.jsx and export a component called productList. Export const productList is equal to an arrow function that returns a div tag productList. I'm going to start by showing you the problem we are trying to solve. Let's say we have a list of 3 products and we want to display them. I'll use an h2 tag for the title, so h2, our products, and 3 divs for each product. Div tag, duplicate it. For the first product, add an h3. This is going to be a laptop, a paragraph tag that displays the price, $9.99. Similarly, the second product, add an h3 tag. This is going to be a phone for $6.99. And the final product, h3, this is going to be a tablet, and the price is $4.99. Save the file. Import this product list component in app.jsx. So import product list from /productlist and invoke it inside the app component. Save the file, check the browser, and you'll see the products displayed. We have our component title and the individual products, laptop, phone, and tablet. But if we go back to the code, you can clearly see that we are repeating the same HTML structure for each product: the div, the h3, and the paragraph tag. Repetition is something we want to avoid in programming. Plus, what if we have 100 products? We definitely don't want to write 100 divs by hand. To render a list of items in React, we need to take our data, put it in an array, and then transform that array into the HTML we need. So first, I will move the data into a products array. So inside the product list component, before the return statement, const products is equal to an empty array. We have 3 products, and each can be represented as an object. Each product has an ID, a name, and a price. The first product has ID 1, and it's laptop with a price tag of $9.99. Similarly, the second product, let's go with ID 2, name, phone, and price, $6.99. And for the final product, ID 3, name tablet, price, $4.99. And I will clear out the repeating JSX. Now, if you remember, JSX is just JavaScript, so we can use any JavaScript method we want. And the perfect method for transforming an array into something else is the map method. In our case, we will map over the products array and transform each product object into JSX. Right after the h2 element, we'll start with curly braces since we need to tell React, hey, this is JavaScript code. Within the curly braces, call the map method on the products array. So products.map. The map method takes a callback function that will be called for each item in our products array. Let's define this callback function. It receives the current product object as an argument, and we will return JSX for each product. We'll start with a div tag. This contains the h3 and the paragraph element. Now, when you're writing HTML inside the map function, you need to use curly braces again if you want to evaluate JavaScript expressions. So even though we already have the outer curly braces for the map function, we need another pair for the product name, product.name. Similarly, price, colon, the $sign, and within curly braces, we bind product.price. Now, a common mistake I see developers make is forgetting the return keyword, so make sure to include it. Now, if we save this and check the browser, refresh, and we can see that it's working. Laptop, phone, and tablet. And here's the best part. If we add more products to our array, for example, ID 4, name watch, price $2.99, and ID 5, name headphones, price $1.99, save the file, They automatically show up in the browser. No extra code was needed. This is the power of rendering lists dynamically. Now, sometimes it's cleaner to do the mapping separately as opposed to inline. So below the products array, you can create a new variable called product elements. So product elements, and store the result of the map method in it. So extract the JavaScript inside the curly braces and assign it to product elements. In the JSX, you can simply render product elements. Take a look at the browser, and the component continues to work as expected. Both approaches work, and it's really about what feels more readable to you. Let me show you one more thing. If you want to filter your list before mapping it to JSX, you can do that using the filter method. For example, products.filter and then .map. And as a callback function to filter, you can specify the filtering condition for each product. Return only if product.price is greater than 500. Now, if you go back to the browser, you can see the list only shows products over $500. You can chain the map and filter methods together to transform your data however you need. The key takeaway here is that rendering lists in React is just JavaScript. You take an array, transform it with map method into an array of JSX elements, and React renders them all. All right, so we have successfully rendered our list of products in the browser without any problem, right? Well, not quite. Let's open up the DevTools console. You can see we have the dreaded red text. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Our list is working fine, but React is clearly not happy about something. But what exactly is this key prop it's asking for? And why does React care so much about it that it's warning us?